Hi everyone, my name is Nurihanna Binti Zazali and my student ID is AM2505018612. Okay, so for my part of this presentation, I'll be focusing on dyslexia and its relationship with the brain, speech and language. Okay, so many people know dyslexia as a reading difficulty, but not everyone understand what actually happens in the brain and how it can affect language processing and communication. Therefore, in the next few slides, I will explain how dyslexia is connected to brain function and discuss some of its effects on speech and language development. Okay, so let's start with the first slide. Okay, so next, I will explain the relationship between dyslexia and the brain. Okay, so first of all, what is dyslexia? Dyslexia is a neurological language disorder that affects reading and language processing. It is important to understand that dyslexia is not caused by low intelligence or poor eyesight. In fact, many individuals with dyslexia have normal or even above average intelligence. Dyslexia occurs because the brain processes written and spoken language differently from other people. As shown in the diagram, there are several language-related areas in the brain, including Broca areas and the Wernicke's areas. Okay, so for the Broca's areas is responsible for speech production, while Wernicke's area help us understand language and meaning. Research suggests that these areas may be less active or work differently in individuals with dyslexia. As a result, tasks involving reading, spelling, pronunciation, and language processing become more challenging. Therefore, dyslexia is not a problem of intelligence, but rather a difference in the way the brain processes language. Okay, for the next slide, I will talk about effects on speech and language. Okay, now let's look at the effects of dyslexia on speech and language. One common difficulty is matching letters with sounds. For example, a dyslexic person may know a letter but struggle to connect with the correct sound. They may also have problem with recognizing and pronouncing words correctly. This can make reading aloud or learning new vocabulary more difficult. Another challenge is confusion between similar letters and sound. For instance, they may confuse the letters B and D or mix up words that sound alike. Because of these difficulties, reading fluency and spelling are often affected. In addition, some individuals with dyslexia may take longer to process spoken information. When listening to instruction or conversations, they may need extra time to understand and respond. These challenges can affect communication and academic performance, especially in classroom situations where language skills are heavily used. Okay, for the next slide, I will talk about brain, speech and support. After understanding the effects of dyslexia, it is important to see how the brain is connected to speech and language difficulties. The language processing areas in the brain work less efficiently in individuals with dyslexia because these areas are responsible for processing sounds and language information. Difficulties may occur in speech, sounds, pronunciation, and reading skills. For example, some individuals may find it difficult to identify speech sounds, which is known as phonological awareness. They may also struggle to organize their thought into words when speaking. Sometimes they know what they want to say, but it takes longer to express their ideas clearly. Another challenge is slower language processing. This means they may need more time to understand spoken language and respond appropriately. As a result, communication, reading development, and academic performance can be affected. However, it is important to remember that these challenges do not mean that a person is less intelligent. With proper support and understanding, individuals with dyslexia can develop effective strategies and succeed in their learning and communication. Okay, so in conclusion, dyslexia affects the way the brain processes language, which can lead to difficulties in reading, speech, and communication. Understanding these challenges is important so that the individuals with dyslexia can receive the support.
Go, Kylie, go. Good job, Kylie. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Wow, look at her go.
They need to reach to get their full potential. Okay, so that's all for my part. Thank you.
I just had to let you know you're